Do This podcast is part of the Win, Make, Give podcast network. Join your host, Bob Stewart, and guest Jay White to discuss transitioning from buying internet leads to creating a media-driven real estate business. Jay shares his journey of leveraging YouTube and social media as powerful marketing tools, resulting in higher quality leads and stronger brand recognition. Jay emphasizes consistent content creation and the long-term payoff of becoming a media-centric operation. We hope you enjoy this episode of the Do This podcast, presented by Brivity.
Hey, Jay White, my brother from another mother. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good, Bob. What's going on, dude?
Not a whole lot. We're flying solo today. My normal co-pilot, Chad Himes, we gave him the week off. Chad is out. I don't know what Chad's doing, but he's not here.
So they left us unsupervised.
They did. They left us unsupervised.
Dangerous.
You've got a whole. We might not even talk anything real estate today because behind you is like all of Charlotte sports history laid out. Right now it's in green. I think it could end up in a different color by the time we're done here, right? Or
I mean, we can change it.
Jay White, do me a favor. Before we jump in, we always kind of have you guys introduce yourself. I bet somewhere I've got a really awesome bio of you that was professionally written by somebody smarter than either one of us. But we're not going to read the bio. Do me a favor. Introduce, who is Jay White?
Yeah. So I'm Jay White. I'm born and raised in Charlotte, North Carolina. We've got an amazing real estate business. Our sales team does, I think we did 270 transactions last year. We're really in growth mode. We've got a property management business that has 500 plus doors. We've got a $60 million mortgage team. We have some home services to be able to take care of our property management company stuff. So we got a lot of stuff going on and pretty exciting.
Yeah, you have you partner with Place. You also have some other partners in your bit, like your brother.
Yep.
You've got a bunch of agents on the team. So you've always been a fan of partnership. Am I right there?
Yeah. So we partnered with Place in 2021, me and 4 agents. And now we just hit 40 agents last week.
Holy smokes. The Jay White team is rocking and rolling in Charlotte, North Carolina. Today we're going to talk about what you did a couple months ago. How long ago was it that you basically made a decision that you were going to stop spending money in a transactional manner on leads?
Yeah. So we were looking in June, July of last year at all of our lead sources and our cost per lead and our ROI on that, and made a decision that, hey, we're done buying internet leads and we want to own our own lead funnel. And so, our number one source of business has always been sphere of influence from me and from our agents. And it's still that way. And at the same time, to be able to grow and support as many agents as we have to have a strong lead funnel for team generated business. And so, we were basically, in my mind, we were hiring a hitman, paying a company for internet leads, and we were serving those up to our agents. And 2021, 2022, that seemed to be working pretty well because interest rates were really low and you could kind of trip over a commission check. And man, all of a sudden it was 2023, 2024, first half of 2025, those are harder to convert. And, those people, you call them up and they're mad at you for calling and they go, well, I didn't do this anyway. And you're like, well, I mean, you clicked on a button, dude, let's be real. We felt like we were chasing these people and they didn't want to be chased. They didn't want to talk to us until they were ready. So I've got a good friend, one of my best friends in the world, Ken Pozick, runs a massive social media generating machine in Orlando, Florida. So I went down and spent some time with him and we said, hey, this is kind of what we want to do. And he gave me, honestly, 3 hours of time and three big thoughts or themes. And number one is content kind of fixes everything. Right. And I was like, okay, so help me understand that. Cause we want to do business. He's like, oh, it's going to increase your production, but it also attracts agents to you that want to be a part of it. And it helps you keep your agents that want to be a part of it as well. very different than buying internet leads because like anybody can do that. And I was like, okay, all right, cool. And then so we said, we're going to go down this road. We posted our first video on YouTube August 25th. So like right at 7 months ago.
We're talking August 25th of 2025.
Yeah, 2025.
Okay.
We do 2 long form videos every single week. And then we supplement that with, so we stood up YouTube first, and then we came back and stood up Instagram and TikTok and LinkedIn and the other stuff. But it is bananas how fast everything changed for us.
Okay. So there's a whole bunch to dive into here. Something, I don't know if Ken says this. I saw it in the notes from kind of the pre-interview. You consider yourself a media company today, like more than you consider yourself a real estate company. Like you are a media first company.
I think we're a media facing, like consumer facing, media driven real estate company.
Okay. Tell me, like, from a mindset perspective, obviously the spend, like where you're spending your money. You used to spend it on transactional leads, and today you're spending it, I'm assuming, on the support. I don't know if it's a videographer or what it is, some editing people that help there, but you're spending money on this content, right?
Yeah. So I don't like it when people say I'm doing it for free or doing it with zero cost, because there's no such thing, right? There's just not. You have to have some sort of investment. It might be time for a lot of people, and then it turns into, okay, leverage and money and whatever. So we have a full-time marketing coordinator that we hired when we decided we were going to go down this road. And then we've paid some editors and some people to help consult us on like content and things like that. But those are pretty minimal. We are with a full-time person in that seat of media or marketing coordinating, and she handles she runs all of our social media. She coordinates with all of our editing. She helps me film in the studio here when we do our long form videos, and then she runs all of our social platforms. We're just now getting back to, with that kind of an investment, the lead spend that we had with a marketing MSA from a mortgage company, right? So like, I look at that and go, okay, so we're back to net zero, but all of a sudden our leads are way better quality. I just had 2 meetings this week in the last 8 days with companies relocating to Charlotte, speaking with an executive director, a founder of a company. I've got 4 people coming into town tomorrow. They'll be here 2 days. They're bringing their spouses, and their budget's somewhere in the $15 to $20 million between all 4 of them for homes that they're looking for in Charlotte this weekend.
Okay.
He's like, I was playing your YouTube channel in our boardroom for all of our guys to like get a feel for what Charlotte looks like.
What is the YouTube channel?
That's a compliment.
Huge compliment.
Realize Charlotte is our YouTube channel, social media brand.
Okay. So I know that you kind of have a couple of lanes of content that you're thinking about. So you've got the Realize Charlotte. Tell me a little bit, like, that's just highlighting the city, what it's like to live here.
Realize Charlotte is the unofficial spokesperson of Charlotte, North Carolina, right? So like when people are looking at Charlotte and they're thinking, hey, I might relocate here, I'm looking at here versus Nashville versus Atlanta or Raleigh. Why would you want to move here? And so it definitely has a real estate slant to it, right? But it's basically, let me show you what's going on in this city from a ground level, from a guy that's lived here, since the day I was born, kind of thing. It's pretty real. It's authentic. It's not very cutesy, but man, it has turned into a lead machine for us pretty quickly. And then our Jay White team stuff is more real estate first, Charlotte second. So like why somebody would want to list with us, getting exposure on properties and that sort of thing. And then my personal stuff is kind of turned into agent facing, where it's just, hey, like I'm trying to help agents maximize their careers and their income and build wealth.
When you say you're doing 2 long form YouTube videos a week, is it a week? A week, right? Give me like the last couple. What has the actual, like, the specific content been on the last video or 3?
So we just shot a video an hour ago that was, don't buy new construction before you watch this video. right?
That one kind of lives mostly in that middle lane, the Jay White team lane.
No, it's Realize Charlotte.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Realize Charlotte. Really, the stuff around the stuff on our team's brand is going to be way more homes for sale, open houses, property tours, area tours, things like that.
Okay, got it. Somebody's asking for a link, and I'm Googling really quickly. Realize Charlotte.
YouTube.com/@Realize Charlotte.
Yeah, there it is. Here, I'll drop the link in for us while we're chatting here, so that you guys can hop over there, Kat, and take a look. Okay, man, there's so much that I want to. There's so many ways we could go here. You're in the studio right now, Jay. Do you think somebody needs a studio to be able to do this? Like,
no.
Take me through the progression. Did you start with the fancy studio? Was it just you in front of a camera? Like, where did you start, and what does kind of the progression look like over the last, call it, 8 months?
Yeah, I mean, we have always done some video, right? Not really long form type stuff. You and I've done some podcasts in the past. So I've got a camera. I've got a little soundboard. I've had a little bit of background with this. Realistically, I think you need like a super cheap little DJI makes a good one. Rode makes a good one. RODE. You need a little microphone that you can plug into your phone. You need a little, when I say a little tripod, they make little tripods that extend all the way to like 6 foot, and you can magnet your phone on it, and that'll get you started. You don't need a studio. I shoot so much content that I like shooting in the studio because I don't have to leave the office and go out on site. That said, yesterday, you can see a little bit of sun on my face. Kiara and I went out on one of our lakes here in Charlotte and did like a whole lake day shoot. We shot 6 videos yesterday. We batch our content pretty hard. So our goal is to shoot as much content as we can in one day or one setting. So like yesterday, we shot 6 videos. Today, we're shooting 3 shorts and 2 long forms that'll kind of get us a little bit more ramp time because I've got some vacation coming up. So it's really just planning and time management. And then if you're asking for like what videos to shoot, you can go to ours and see what videos did well. You can go to Orlando Reel, see what videos do well. You can go to, Chris Colgan's videos and see what videos do well. It's honestly just like a copy and paste. Like you go looking at other channels and go, well, that video hit. What's our version of that video?
Yeah, I'm looking here. I've got your YouTube channel pulled up. Your most popular video is Charlotte, North Carolina suburbs explained. Where should you live?
Yep.
It's 19 minutes. I'm assuming you probably broke down 5 or 8 of the top suburbs that people like to end up in.
Something like that. Yeah. And it's I think it's probably one of the first videos that we did, if I'm guessing. The coolest part about this, and this was the second kind of theme that Ken told me. When you create this content, it's evergreen and it generates leads forever, versus like you're paying somebody to put an ad somewhere, click a button, and those are the only leads you get, and you're only getting them once. And when you stop paying, they stop generating. We could stop everything that we're doing and we would still have lead flow for the next 5 years, probably.
So good. I mean, that evergreen concept of like the work the 6 videos you shot yesterday and that one day of work is going to be paying off for you
for a decade.
Yeah. We'll be paying off for you in 10 years. It's the same, I have the blogging background in Active Rain, and I still hear stories every week from somebody on Active Rain that's like, I wrote a blog post 10 years ago. I made a video 8 months ago, and today I got a lead from it. You said the quality of the leads are better. Why?
These people want to talk to you. They feel like they know you already. Like I'm getting recognized, and I don't do this because I like it, but I'm getting recognized when I walk around town. They're like, oh, I know who you are. I've seen you before. I've heard your voice. That's brand recognition, man. And that's hard to come up with. It's hard to compete for. And once you get it in our bit, there's 20,000 realtors in Charlotte, man. And they don't say that about everybody. And so there is a return on that in and of itself, right? Just going, oh, I know who you are. I know who you are. So when we go for a listing appointment, like they may not have ever done business with us, but they've heard of us now. And so it's it's really hard to put a value on that too.
Here's the reality too, Jay. I think, YouTube is like the number 2 largest search engine in the world, right behind Google, which it's owned by Google. And so it's like that consumer that who knows how they start, like that, talk about the company that's moving, who knows how they probably went and like, we're moving to Charlotte and they're.
I had a call last Wednesday from an executive director for the 3rd largest bank in Japan, and their headquarters is in Manhattan, and they just announced 200,000 square foot lease in Uptown Charlotte. And so they're moving 1,000 people from Manhattan, and I didn't get a call, didn't get an email, didn't get a DM. I have a Calendly link set up on my YouTube channel. I get a meeting set up on Sunday afternoon at 2:00 or something like that. No, it was last Wednesday. Sorry. Crazy. I'm talking with an executive director from a major bank that's moving 1,000 people from Manhattan to Charlotte. And him and his wife want to come down and spend some time with me and get to know the city a little bit. And then he wants me to talk to his HR and handle the relocation for his company. We've got 40 agents. We can handle that. We're not, you know what I mean? Like versus like a relocation company that's going to break this up into like, hey, here's 10 agents, blah, blah, blah. Like he's going, I want you to handle this. We were watching your YouTube channel in our boardroom the day the announcement was made.
That guy probably spent some time, Jay, like, I don't know, like him and his wife are going to be moving there. So he's Googling like homes for sale in Charlotte, and just the internet figured out, oh, these guys like Charlotte, and said, who talks about Charlotte on the internet? Oh, it's this Jay White group. I'm sure this guy was getting your stuff positioned in front of him, right? Like whether it was his kids were watching YouTube after dinner on, Wednesday night, and all of a sudden it's like the next video is Jay White group's video because his home's been investigating Charlotte. Like, I think we all understand and we see the kind of the way the internet presents things to us that we're interested in. So it's not shocking to anybody, I don't think, that like your stuff is being put in front of people that are considering moving to Charlotte.
Yeah.
So
Amanda is our director of operations. She just pulled a stat for us, for our team to be able to use when they're sitting down with a listing and going, why should we hire you? In the last 30 days, right? Remember, we're 7 months old. We built these from scratch, starting at 0. We're 7 months old. In the last 30 days, we reached 986,000 different social media accounts across our platforms. You could list with us, or you could list with an agent that has 125 followers and posts something once a month and gets maybe 10 likes on it. Like there's a difference.
It's yeah, it like that amount of reach, that amount of people. When you think like how many people even live in Charlotte?
2.9 million,
right? Like you've touched, a fifth of the people in Charlotte, like in the last 30 days, and just every day you're touching more and more and more of them. It won't be long before you're Pozak, and he's probably getting more views than people even live in Orlando, right?
He got 60 million views in a 30-day period across all his platforms last month. But he's 7 years ahead of us,
7 years, yeah.
And I think that's the one thing I kept going, I'll never do what he's doing. I'll never do what he's doing. The cool part is I didn't have to start where he started. It might not take me 7 years to get where he is. But I think the biggest thing that keeps us from doing this is you watch and you hear, like y'all are hearing what we've done in 7 months, and you're like, oh my God, I'll never get there, or I don't have that budget, or like you make up all the reasons in your head to justify why you don't do something. And I did it for a long time. And it's funny because like, he's my biggest fan, man. I'll send him, hey dude, this just happened. And he's like, so dope. This is sick. Like you guys are crushing it. Like your numbers are insane compared to what ours were when we started. So like, there's some really cool stuff that we're doing. But it's the consistency is crazy. Like, we've got 5,300 subscribers on YouTube. We've got 10,000 followers on Instagram, and just the Realize Charlotte stuff. That's not even counting my stuff and the team stuff. I think we're almost at 10,000 on TikTok. Like that happened. We're starting to see this hockey stick. Like it happened very slowly at first, and then all of a sudden it just exploded.
How did you?
Like we were probably at 3,000 a month or two ago.
How did you stay committed to the process during that time when you're like, I'm just shouting into the wind, nobody hears this, nobody's reaching out? I'm assuming for the first few months there wasn't like if you cut the lead spend, you must have had a amount of time where the the leads weren't coming in like they were when you were spending $5,000 or $8,000 or whatever with Google.
Yeah. So we told our team what we were doing, and I'm going to say the buy-in was pretty good with skepticism too. You know what I mean? Like they're like, okay, yeah. And I'll believe it when I see it. And then the leads started showing up, and our first lead was a $1.2 million buyer that was hanging out with some Zillow Flex agent, and they didn't believe what they were being told was in their best interest. And so we booked a call. Next thing I know, Christina's taking them out, has a signed buyer's agency agreement. So that happened pretty quick. Our first listing appointment was a $3.5 million listing. And our average price is like 400 in Charlotte. And it, like for our team, it's 500. So that was like a wake up call to our team. Like, I think people thought that this would just be, and I did too, we would see a lot of first time home buyer type stuff that's like below our median price. And what we saw show up first was the high end stuff. And like, it wasn't just luxury. It was like high end.
What are some, like you mentioned your Calendly link. I'm always fascinated by the calls to action that people use. Like, do you have a Brivity tracking number that you always say as the phone number if somebody was going to call or text?
So we put a Brivity tracking number that's we didn't separate it out for each social media because Ken told me they're going to come from a lot of, like they might find you on TikTok, go to YouTube and then call you. Well, YouTube wasn't really the source of that. So he kind of said, hey, you should probably have tracking across all your socials, and it could be the same, and it's not a really big deal. So we have a dedicated number for YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn. And then, so anybody that calls that number, we know where they saw us. Our big call to action is download our free relocation guide, which is nothing more than a landing page with with lead capture. But dude, they put in all their information. And then the other thing I did was put a Calendly link on there. So like call me, text me, email me, or if you want to have a call soon, like go ahead and just click the Calendly link and
just skip all the foreplay, right, Jay? Let's just go right to.
There's some people that are ready for that.
Yeah. Especially, I mean, this buyer, I think we could, not in every scenario, but we could make the broad kind of assumption they're a little bit more educated than somebody that just Googled homes for sale in Charlotte. Like they've been watching the videos, they've been getting to know you, like you said, where they show up and they like know what's on your background there or whatever, right? Like
yeah,
better lead.
Like we use AI to write all of our scripts.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
tell me more.
We use Claude to write. Like we'll come up with the concept, but then we've created kind of our own formula that works for us as far as the structure of a video goes. So like, obviously everybody knows the hook and then the content, and we use a mid hook a lot of times to like come back to like what we're doing here, inviting people to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications on YouTube and stuff like that. And then we have a really strong call to action with like, hey, if this is who you are, if you've watched to this point, something in you is like, this is hitting home. Go ahead and book an appointment with us. This is what we do every day. And, we don't mind. It's an easy use of our time to help somebody who might be struggling. And dude, they hear that and it's pretty cool. And it's funny. Like you talk about the difference between internet leads and the leads that are coming off our social stuff. The internet leads, like they don't want to give you any information. When somebody books an appointment with me on these Calendly links, they're telling me everything. Like they're coming, they're wanting the meeting. I'm not, if that makes sense. Not that I'm not, but they're the ones asking for the meeting. When we were chasing internet leads, we were the ones asking all the time.
You guys had a database already, obviously, Jay.
Yeah.
30, 40, 50, I don't know how, like a big one.
About 40, 50,000.
Okay. Has this content like had a positive impact on that existing database as well?
Yeah.
Like, are your past clients seeing this stuff? Are you hearing from your sphere that they saw your video? Like,
okay, I said something to Ken as like a reason that this concerned me. We were in the middle of TikTok might even be banned in the USA. Like, what does all this look like? Like, I don't really even control that. And he goes, the ultimate thing you're trying to do is build an email newsletter list because you are the only one that controls that. And I was like, okay, tell me more. He's like, the content is just content for your email newsletter. The goal is to build the biggest email newsletter that gets opened at a really high rate, that gets people to come back to your website. So like, yes, we have listing alerts, and yes, we have market reports through Brivity. But the last thing that really tied all this together is we would every piece of content that we put out, we also put a blog post on our Brivity site. We link all of the stories in our email newsletter back to our blog or to our YouTube channel if it's a video, or to like featured listings to get people to come back to our website too. So we've seen an increase in website traffic. We've seen our clients coming back to our website more often than they ever did before. What's your home worth button on our email newsletter? Like that stuff's all on there.
Man, why aren't more? Why we're how far are we into YouTube? 20 years into YouTube. Like Ken's been doing this for 7 years. I think. I don't know, for anybody paying attention anyway, or if you go on the internet, like I'm sure you've come across Ken Pozak, or maybe not. Why do people wait so long? Why did you I don't know.
I think
for everybody else in here, Jay, they've all been waiting the same amount of time. You're 7 months. You finally said, all right, I'm going to do this. Like, why aren't more people doing it?
I don't like what I look like on camera. I don't like what I sound like on camera. I don't think I have anything interesting to say. It's too hard. I don't have enough budget. I don't think I can do it with enough quality, or that's not me. I think those are the reasons.
How many of those were like in your head? Did you have
a lot of them? Yeah, a lot of them. And they're all bullshit.
At the end of the day, I mean, you made a business decision, right? You just said, I'm going to commit to doing this. And I guess once you were kind of in, you kind of had to, you didn't really have a bridge to walk back across.
We burned the boats. Yeah, we burned the boats.
Yeah. And you let everybody on the team know. And it was like this, you put a lot of pressure on yourself, I guess, to go and kind of perform.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about accountability when 35 people are planning their lives and really their careers on you being able to help them build business. You've got to be able to say, hey, I'm living up to my end of I made promises to you that I would provide you with some leads to enhance your businesses, right? Like we still believe that an agent on our team's number one source of business should be their sphere of influence. And then the business that comes off of the business that the team is doing. So open houses, prospecting into the database, that sort of thing. But on the other side, what is the team doing to live up to their side of the promise? And for us, we felt like, number one, we were losing money buying internet leads. We were losing money. When you looked at our spend and our return, we were losing money. So the only reason we were doing it is to show them that they were getting leads. They weren't making money on it if we weren't making money on it. Like they were spending more time investment than we were spending, but it didn't make sense for us from an ROI perspective. So we really said, all right, if we were going to do this from scratch, whose business would we want to emulate? And Ken's the first one that comes to mind. And so we spent time with him. He was nice enough. And again, Ken and I are boys. So like the first question I asked him, I was like, hey, if I run this playbook, I need to know what your profit margin is. And he's like 28%. I was like, okay, then I can run this playbook.
By the way, if you guys listening, I just dropped in the chat for you the link to Ken Pozak's YouTube channel. He does this down in Orlando. I also dropped the link for Chris Colgan's YouTube channel. He does this in like Northern Virginia. Jay, we shared Jay's link earlier. He's doing this in Charlotte. I guess my question to anybody sitting here is, who's doing this in your area? And there's a decent chance, Jay, that nobody is, or the person that's doing it's not doing it consistently. Or
here's the funny part, man. We've got other place partners in Charlotte that run pretty big YouTube businesses, and we've still been able to get off the ground that quickly.
Yeah. There's room for more than
everybody. There's room for everybody. You're going to
Yeah.
resonate with the people who resonate with you. You just are.
Somebody watched one of those Jay White videos and was like, there is no way I am calling this guy.
Totally. And that's the beauty behind it, man. You attract the people who are like you.
Yeah, and you didn't even know it, but you were able to say, I'm so glad that lady didn't call me, because he probably wouldn't have been a match for her anyway, right?
Right. Yeah.
I love it. Jay White, thanks for joining me today, man. Listen, kudos to you. I think that was a really bold decision to make. Now, granted, Ken and Chris and some of these people that have blazed the trail maybe made it a little bit easier, and obviously we're able to show you a little bit of the way, but that's a massive decision to make in your business. I'm glad to hear it's paying off, in a short amount of time later.
Yeah. Yeah. We pulled our last month with the company we were buying internet leads from was December. And by then we had enough traction that we felt good about it, but not enough proof yet. And now we've got proof, and our agents are really excited to work these leads. They're converting at an extremely high level.
Man, let's go sell 1,000 houses to the Japanese bank people moving down from Manhattan, and right? we'll have a pretty good 2025.
Listen, if we get a quarter of that business, that's some monster number.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Jay, thanks, man. Get back to work, because I know you got a lot of people that you lead, and probably have a few videos to get posted today. Thanks for joining us, man.
All right, dude. Good to see you. Thanks, everybody.
Will I see you in Anaheim in a week or two? Or 3?
I will be in Anaheim for 36 hours.
All right, I'll see you then. Appreciate you, buddy.
Bye.
Talk to you. Bye, everybody. Have a great week.